Welcome everyone to Coalition League's spring season, week one. And the game we are watching now is DoV Nightfall versus Shadowkeepers. I am Random Minion Caster, and casting alongside me is Rukter. Rukter, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Random. Looking forward to getting into this match. We do already have the pro draft signed and sealed for you, but we can just run a little bit through these teams. DoV Nightfall playing on the blue side, going for that Thresh, Darius, Caitlyn, Jarvan, and Cho'Gath. We thought that the Cho'Gath was a very sort of tanky pick already into this heavily engaged sort of style with that Jarvan and the Thresh, but there's going to be a lot of support frontline there for the Caitlyn involved. And on the Shadowkeepers, we have a fairly exciting Shaco pick that we don't see too many time in competitive league play. So looking forward to see how that champion will do. How do you think it fares into the lineup?
Yeah, I think the Shaco pick is going to be key to winning this because DoV Nightfall's team composition basically revolves around keeping Caitlyn alive and playing front to back. Shadowkeeper's draft is a little more interesting. They don't have as much of a front line with Set, and so I think a lot of their key will be trying to get to that Caitlyn, killing that Caitlyn, and basically flanking, not wanting to play that front to back fight there.
Yeah, you're right, Random. I think it'll be interesting to see how the Misfortune really handles that. That'll be Louisville Gent on the Misfortune. Has to be a little bit patient with his ultimate. Wait for the right bullet time. Wait for them to be drawn in because he really needs to be laying that down and see how that sort of progresses as well. There's going to be so much tankiness. Definitely going to need to pile on that armor penetration as well.
Yeah, and that Sona is going to have to position very well. Sona, I think, is going to be the huge pivot there for team fights for Shadowkeepers. If she can get her ultimate off and keep MF alive to get her bullet time off, I think they have a decent shot at winning a team fight. But if Sona and Misfortune, squishy as they are, get caught early, then it's lights out for Shadowkeepers in any team fight.
Yeah, exactly, Random. We said that Shaka needs to get a little bit of a lead early. We will be getting right into the game now. See how he can do and fare. Krosek 1-2-3 looking for that. And we are loaded into the rift. So welcome to the Coalition Week 1.
Yeah, and for level 1, I don't expect either team really to be too aggressive there. I mean, DoV does have a decent level 1 with a Thresh and a Cho'Gath, so they might look for this, and it looks like they are grouping bot, looking for a bot side invade possibly. A little split right now, but looks like they will probably be going round the bot side and into that bush near the bot lane.
Exactly, Random. It is actually very nice if you can break up the box sort of chain that Shaka is looking to get to really accelerate him into that double buff start. We'll see if anything can cover that. DoV definitely looking for it. Have the CC to be able to do that. Louisville just has to be a little bit careful here. Going to be able to back away. Has that strut as well for the passive. Just gets a wall down there for the summer as well. Lots of vision, but that's going to expend that, which means that maybe Gunth can look for something into the bottom lane because double vision just got propped.
Yeah, and we see that that on DoV's side, only Gunth dropped the ward, but both the bot laners on the side of SK there, Shadowkeepers, have dropped their wards, and Shaco is going to be starting top side, so his boxes aren't interrupted at all. He will get that good, easy early clear without having to pull any of his laners, which might give a little bit of an edge there to his laners as well.
Yeah, also just showing topside as well, looking for that vision so they know where Gunth is starting. It will be in that to that bottom side. We'll have to see about the Shaco pathing, as he could definitely look to come down bottom side, get those double buffs, and then have a bit of a surprise sneaky attack onto Poison Lich here in the bottom.
Oh no, and Shadowkeeper's bot lane squandered that early lead. They decided to wait around, I think, to fake a leash, but they should have known that there were already wards on the blue buff there, so they would have known.
Nice at landing level 1 here in the bottom. No real follow-up there. Sona getting a little bit low, but the invade coming out here. Full Gunth onto Krosek as well. Smite comes down. Shaco secures it. This is a big lead here for Krosek. He can keep up with the red buff slow as well. No priority either way really into the mid lane as they are just going back and forth. The flag and drag is there, but he's losing HP back and forward. Krosek just going forward. Has the ignite as well. That's the summoner use.
And
Phantom can't quite secure the knockup.
And that flash coming off Gunth early is going to hurt his gank ability later. Jarvan is a very strong ganker, and level 2 gives him the flag and drag, but that flash helps so much, especially when you're ganking mobile lanes like Zoe. And
Nicer coming down, actually big damage. As a Piltover comes down, the Ignite is there, and the Flash is used. Louis Vilgren has to just retreat to the tower. Very, very low now. If he eats another hook, he's probably going to go down.
Yeah, and if he bases now, he won't be able to get much, but he's so low, no flash either. Bot lane should be quite easily dominated now by DoV, but Sona will also be able to heal up the lane, so it's a bit of a question of whether they'll have enough mana on Sona to get MF back to safe levels there.
Process lingered down onto this bottom side of the map. Wonder if he'll look for something bottom lane. Louisville definitely low though, so doesn't really want to trade too aggressively down here. Picking up this bottom skull though, maybe look to come down bottom, see if he can extend that lead down.
And it looks like he is going down there, trying to decide whether or not he wants to hop over that wall. Looks like he's decided not to, but we do have Set from the top lane chasing out Jarvan, Gunth there, but Gunth will get the scuttle on the top side, so he will have the vision there, which is matched by the vision from Shaco Krusek getting the bot lane scuttle.
Yeah, big trade down into the mid as well, actually. Yo, bro, I'm nasty. Piloting the Zoe, gets down the bubble and uses the Ignite to try and trade aggressively. Nice little bit of a map movement here by GTH. As another bubble comes onto there. Here comes Krosek in the mid, and that's an easy, secure pickup.
And that's 2 kills, both kills onto Krusek. Now that's the early lead we were talking about that they need to get. Krusek getting these early leads is absolutely crucial because he's the one who can wander around and spread that lead to other lanes. And if he gets far ahead enough, even though
a lot of aces as well.
Oh yeah, almost went down there.
Getting so low, double flay here into the bottom lane. The hook's gonna go wide as the minions are good and secured into the bottom lane, but in the top side as well. Lord of Aces getting very, very low here. Gone for that ghost as well, so looking for that extra mobility. Can't TP back to lane, that means, so he's going to lose a little bit of speed into the top side of the map and XP.
Yeah, it just looks like Lord of Aces took a bit of a bad trade there. I mean, normally Darius into Set should be a much more even lane, but as you mentioned, he has no TP. And so GTH will have a TP advantage, and Dragon is up right now, so he would be able to teleport there if he wanted to, while Lord of Aces would not be able to join into that fight.
Yeah, chooses not to actually start that Cloud Drake. Would have been a big boon for them. They actually have priority down bottom. Nice CS lead developing as well here for Poison Lynch. So playing the Caitlyn well, looking for that early advantage. Almost has enough gold to be able to back for that BF sword as well. Massive power spike point for them.
Yeah, and we can see GTH now decided to come down. He still has his teleport, so if they force this dragon, he will be able to teleport to lane and won't lose much. So that's all 5 of Shadow Keepers starting to head towards dragon. They've set up very nice vision around there. 2 pinks, 1 in the pit, 1 in the pixel bush, just outside the pit there. So they will be able to see if anybody's coming down.
Yeah, very early roam as a flash forward coming out for Web Hippo, looking for it. Ignite up off CD again, looking forward for Louisville. Not going to be secured, didn't have to flash, still has exhaust as well. Maybe we can talk a little bit about exhaust on the AD carry. Dragon awarded over because no TP in the top lane. Lord of Aces can't follow.
And that is such a weird thing that Shadow Keepers had vision of DoV doing Dragon there. Their bot lane had priority, but they chose not to do that. Instead, chose to pressure the lane instead. And like you said, Louisville Gent is carrying Exhaust. Exhaust on the ADC there. Little unusual, and it won't really benefit Misfortune very much in lane, but it will certainly help later in the game. As we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of frontline melee, heavy dive sort of champions on DoV, so Darius is going to want to get in there. Jarvan's going to want to get into there, and Cho'Gath as well. So that exhaust will hopefully be able to keep MF alive a bit longer to output that damage. But in lane, it's not going to help her at all as Caitlyn completely outranges her. If she's in range to put an exhaust on Caitlyn, Caitlyn's probably playing it wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just looking to keep your distance. Use that range advantage that you have. Not take the double ups as well. Big wave lost into the top side. GTH roamed down very early, but Krosek into the mid. Level 6 here on Phantom X though, so he can definitely survive. Bubble is good. Looking for the gun. Maybe looking for something. Ignite is down after the flash. Krosek securing that again. 3-0. Fantastic early game for Krosek.
And Krosek is making that Ignite count. One of the benefits of running Shaco is that most Shacos will not run Flash as a summoner, instead choosing to take a more aggressive Ignite. And he's made that Ignite count twice now, both on the First Blood and this gank mid. Phantom X Cho'Gath will eventually get tanky enough that Zoe, Yo Bro, Zoe is going to have problems killing him. But right now, if Krosek keeps ganking that lane, by the time Phantom X gets that tanky, Yo Bro is going to be fed enough to still be able to rip right through his health there.
Krosek again has that level 6, maybe looking towards the bottom side of the map here. Grunth not in response, but is looking into the bottom side of the map as well. Definitely interesting. Potentially have a proto belt coming out for Phantom X, so looking to get that little bit of a gap close there to be able to do his all-in combo, but falling a little bit behind there in experience as well. So much vision here for the bot side of Shadowkeepers.
Yeah, and Shadowkeeper's doing a good job with getting pinks down.
Krosek to get there. The bullet time is down to Lynch. Forces the flash early. No brain. Doesn't quite have that crescendo, so can't really follow up on the play.
And that is pretty huge because it's going to keep that bot lane away. Oh, never mind. They didn't take as much damage as I thought they would. If that had taken a bit more damage, it would have been excellent because it would have stopped them from hitting level 6 for even longer.
Apprehend the stacks are onto GTF. He has to be careful here. Use a shield at the right time. Lord of Aces going in for the trade. Dunks down. The bleed might be good as well. He does tick. And that'll be going over to Lord of Aces.
And there we go. That's the more even matchup I expected. Not that one-sided beating Set gave to Darius earlier. Good to see that Darius is coming back and is saying bot lane. If they had managed to poke out Caitlyn and Thresh a bit more there, they would have been able to hold that level 6 lead and potentially even snowball into a full 1 and maybe a bit level.
Oh, he doesn't really have a hope in the top lane as well. Little bit of a dummy going into here. Your mum... Bro, Nasty, sorry, is going forward. Ignite is down as well. That'll be secured there for your bro, Nasty.
Yeah, some of these names are a bit of a handful there, but I mean, Lord of Aces almost managing to take Krosek down, identified the correct one and didn't go for the clone. If not for Yo Bro's very good Drowsy there, he probably would have gone down in that fight, which would have been absolutely huge for DoV, as there is a bounty, and anything you can do to slow that Shaco down is a good thing, because Shaco will fall off later.
Yeah, actually rather interesting. Going for the Cinder Hulk as well. So a little bit of tanky stats going in for the Tiamat. He'll slowly sort of transition that, but just looking at to farm the waves. But a little bit more of a tanky build coming out of a Shaka. That's a bit interesting.
Yeah, personally I was expecting an AP Shaco, which is a more popular build in solo queue. It does a lot of damage, but it falls off a bit harder. This sort of tanky...
Krosek again into the bottom side. Poison Lynch doesn't have flash this time. The crescendo is there with the bullet time. That was the combo. Double kill going over to Louisville Gents.
Yeah, and that is big. Dragon is coming up in 36 seconds. So getting a kill here means that they can set up better for Dragon, potentially even take it before DoV has a chance to contest for it. And yeah, that is that beautiful combination between Sona and Misfortune. You get the Sona out, you get the Misfortune out, and most people will be forced out of the fight.
Yeah, just a night vision setting up for this Drake. It's going to spawn in 50 seconds, so they're just sort of lingering along. Could potentially look for a few plates into the bot lane. I think Misfortune, Louisville Gent going to be able to secure that. But setting up for this second Mountain Drake.
Yeah, and the importance of this Mountain Drake is more in denying it for DoV. I don't think Shadowkeepers gets that big an advantage from the little bit of bonuses on armor and resistance gives, but if DoV manages to get it, it would be absolutely huge for them late game.
Yeah, very big denial here. Like you said, your Mumbro just coming into there. Big secure here, coming out for the second Drake. Stacking these up nicely. This is quite an early tick going over. 11.5 minutes. Plates are still there. Looking for the Rift Power Trop, so a little bit of a trade coming out here for DoV as well.
Yeah, and I think that was the best DoV could hope for there, just trading Herald for Dragon.
Phantom X looking for, he's got the slow, he's looking for the consume as well. The Ignite is down, he doesn't even need it. It was actually on cooldown.
Yeah, but he gets the kill, and that's all he needs. So we're starting to see the Cho'Gath sort of begin to outskill Zoe's damage output at this point, which is expected. But top lane, Herald being put down top lane.
Yeah, they're looking for the tower. Can't quite secure it. They're going to be able to push in this wave, so can maybe look for a little bit of a play here. Krosek does not have his hallucinate, so can't really put down the clones. Can't really look for too much. That'll be first tower going over here to DoV. A little bit of hope coming out of the top lane.
Yeah, the first turret is going to be huge for them. It will help them with the kill differential there. But I do want to point out that DoV is actually up in gold by about 2.4 thousand, despite being down in kills, down in
Web Hero flashing forward, gets the flay, the box is down as well, exhaust onto the thresh, I'm not sure that's what you want. Double crescendo though, is very, very massive. Louisville being able to kite around, Ace in the hole, gonna be blocked by the Sonar as well. Tower going down the mid lane, Phantom X has been ignited and he will get going down to Prosec. Now we're there onto Lord of Aces, forces the flash away there for GTF.
Yeah, and lots going on.
Oh, the Pilt over in the bottom lane. Poison Lynch secures the kill onto No Stop Rain. It's all action on the Rift.
Just the tip there. Just barely enough to take down Soda. And again, like the exhaust, as you said, it went down on Thresh because Louisville Gentleman just simply couldn't put it on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's range was so far out that she couldn't do it. And DoV now getting 2 turrets for that. I think it's worth. There's a 3.3 thousand gold lead for DoV despite being down in kills. And a large chunk of that is now because of these turret leads that they're able to take.
And the CS lead in the bottom lane, even though Prosec's been down there a lot, it hasn't really stopped Poison Lynch from being able to free farm on this Caitlyn. Finish that Stormrazor, going for the Zeal next as well. Very strong position there.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Shaco as a jungler. Shaco is an amazing ganker, but he's not so great at grabbing towers or defending towers. So we saw that top lane earlier when Gunther and Lord of Aces just forced that down. Not really much Krusek can do, and we're going to see this continuously throughout the game as Shaco will have harder and harder problems trying to take turrets, though he should still be good at taking the objectives. So hopefully they'll be able to make something out of the objectives and stacking those instead.
Yeah, he's moving around the map a lot, and he actually hasn't prioritized the boots yet, so we'll be sort of slowly stacking into that, but struggling to really get around the map. 4-0-3, very nice scoreline, but needs to really transition that into something else.
Yeah, and we said in the pregame that Shadow Keepers are wanting to get flanks, wanting to get picks, not wanting to fight a front to back fight. Now with 2 tier 1 turrets down in the top lane and the mid lane, I think that's actually kind of beneficial to them because that should unlock the Zoe to roam a bit more, and a Zoe Shaco flank or gank is a very terrifying thing, especially if you're squishy. So if they look down to that bot lane, they might be able to hopefully pick off that Caitlyn a bit more, maybe give Misfortune Louisville a little bit more breathing room there.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of the vision and control, the third dragon's going to be that Infernal, so we'll have Infernal coming onto the Rift for the next few dragons. Going to be nice for either team to pick that up, but really ideally, Shadow Keepers want to be securing that for the team. Prosec's going to be looking for the third Drake of the game, down into the bottom lane as well. Hook's going to go wide to start it off, gets the flay, but the crescendo is down. It's a double one. Lynch has to flash away as well. The Ignite was ticking, but it's Web Hippo who's going to go down first. That goes over to Louisville Gen, secured into the bot lane. Now your Bro Nasty is into the bottom as well, looking for something onto Poison Lynch. No sums available. Grunt is coming, but he has to just back away from the tower.
And they have to remember, Phantom X is still pushing mid. Yo Bro's roam is coming at the cost of minions. We see GTH teleporting mid to try and catch that wave and stop further damage to the turret, but that means Lord of Ace is now going to get the free
Prosec's gone very deep here. Props to Hallucinate. That's going to be tower secured, as you said. Minions dropping in the mid lane as well, so the Zoe roam isn't causing too much, but they're definitely going to be able to secure this dragon or tower down in the bottom lane. But it's Phantom X in the middle, being able to trade for this tower, potentially getting a fair amount of damage down to this, but Cho'Gath not exactly known as for his split pushing capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some wave push, but he can't really do much to turret. We see Lord of Aces roaming down now. They're setting up for the dragon that's coming up in 5 seconds here. Shadow Keepers giving up the advantageous position they had. They do have plenty of vision, but it will be cleared out by DoV coming in. DoV now starting up the dragon.
Yeah, GTH does not have his teleport, so he will not be able to come to this fight. Prosec as well, just getting corralled into it. Lord of Aces going to be able to secure that. Infernal going over.
And the shutdown too on Shaco going over to Lord of Aces in the top lane. Lord of Aces was already applying enough pressure, able to handle GTH one-on-one with no problem. You keep feeding him like that and he's going to be able to 1v1 anybody on Shadow Keepers. And they're going to have a problem if he decides to start split pushing.
Yeah, Hook actually lands it. He can lantern someone in. It's going to be Grunt as well. Poison Lynch ends up taking it. Louisville going to be giving over a shutdown to Poison Lynch in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's a turret and a kill for Poison Lynch, who was already far ahead enough. And now it's a 1.3 thousand gold lead there for Poison Lynch. Between Poison Lynch and Lord of Aces, that's pretty much all that DoV really needs to start getting back into the game here. A strong front line and a Fed 80 carry to shoot from the back.
We said random before the game started that probably about that 15-minute mark, ideally Shadowkeepers needed to have that sort of like 2,000-3,000 gold lead to really be kind of even in the matchup. So you think about the compositions. We have Trinity Force now finished 4 Lord of Aces just against that Sunfire Cape here coming out for the set. So I think they're going to slowly start losing control of the game. You've seen that Infernal Dragon sort of been secured there as well. So they are going to struggle for map positioning now. So we're just trying to poke, but they're not really looking for a full team fight. Krosek here pops the Hallucinate, but he's come in too early. He actually secures it. I don't know if he managed to pick it up. He didn't actually get the chance to do so. So they're just going to be able to secure that. Ace in the hole comes down on Yo Bro, I'm Nasty as well. Lord of Aces looking to potentially apprehend over the wall. They have position on the map and they're using it effectively.
And right now, Shadowkeepers is all about Krusek. He's the one getting kills. He's the one applying pressure. He's the one grabbing objectives. Where is the rest of Shadowkeepers in that fight? We see all of DoV collapsing in. You know, they set up well. They've got the whole place lit up like a Christmas tree on the top side of the map right now. DoV was there, present, ready, and Shadowkeepers just didn't respond. Krusek had to go in alone to get that. We're already saying that they had to have a lead, and they don't even, their kill lead now has shrunk from what earlier was about a 4-kill lead, now to only a 2-kill lead. They're down in gold. They're going to have a lot of problems at this point.
Crescendo and Bullet Time really used to not a lot of effectiveness, just zone them off the way to save that T2 tower in the middle. Krosek maybe going to be able to stop him back here. Lord of Aces, so tanky though already. Has that Triforce, so has a lot of damage to boot as well. Krosek just has to go, and you can feel like that lead is just slipping away. 5,000 now going, a massive hook into the mid lane. Louisville gonna get feasted upon.
Yeah, and Krusek is no longer the terror of the jungle. He now needs to be afraid of what's in the jungle, in those bushes where he can't see. Lord of Aces, absolutely massive. The damage he's putting down and the hooks coming out from Web Hippo right now, that's gonna be critical. If Web Hippo lands a hook and it's not under a turret, that's the initiate DoV needs, and they can just go right in on it.
Actually, Lord of Aces securing the blue buff as well. Just feels like the nail in the coffin here is just slipping away here. DoV running away with the game a little bit.
Yeah, and your Shadowkeepers right now, you just need to stop and reset. They've been running from fight into fight into fight, and they're not all together. And whereas we see DoV all grouped up, so they're slowly losing that advantage they had. They need to reset and reevaluate what they want to push and where they want to go. Right now, there's no objectives on the map. There's Baron up, but Dragon's down right now for a minute and 20. Turrets aren't exactly an option right now because the waves are still pushing. So if they want to take a turret, they need to group up. Or if they want to take Baron, they need to start getting vision down because it's still pretty lit up for DoV there.
Yeah, exactly, random. We have this full-on Glacial coming in, GLP, and the Twin Shadows available for Phantom X, so he's really looking to push the boat out. Feast is going to be dealing a lot of damage. I just wonder about this lethality coming out of Louisville Gent. Definitely going to be looking to hit a lot of tanks here. A lot of armor going to be slowly coming out. Even the Ninja Tabai on Poison Lynch as well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, Louisville is still going to hit pretty hard with all that lethality. But as the game goes longer and longer, she's not going to do as much damage late game. So they are basically doubling down on this early game composition. They need to win early. If we stretch beyond 30 minutes, the damage from Louisville is just going to drop right off the face of a cliff.
Yeah, we're forcing ourselves into a little bit of a team fight here. Lord of Aces does not have teleport, has that go, so has to join his team fairly quickly. They're trying to hold position. POV seems to have it in the river. Yo Bro, I'm Nasty looks for a little bit of a poke onto Web Hippo. The hook goes wide though, flashing away from the Bullet Time as well. GTH in the back line is going to go down. Your Mum Bro in the front though gets feasted upon yet again. Gun tanks for so long up there. So much. Here we go. The resets are coming out. Lord of Aces in the front line. Goes golden on Phantom X as well. Routes Louisville Gents who gets flashed upon there. By Poison Lynch, a little bit aggressive, but the Dragon will be going over here to...
Yeah, DoV's going to pick that Dragon up. No problem. The only question is, will Phantom X make it out alive? But Krusek is in there.
Here. He can't quite find it, though. gonna go down in the process. That's a dragon down. They have the tanks available as well. Lord of Aces could tank up this Baron.
Krusek went for the Hail Mary there, did not even have his smite up, and Phantom X didn't have his feast up either. That was literally just a battle of spells and auto attacks. And here on Baron, we see that SK Shadowkeeper still has vision on it, so they will know that it's being started up. But you know what? Louisville, he could do damage with his ultimate, but he gets interrupted so easily. He doesn't have to peel. I'm not sure that they can really take this Baron, but DoV is also very low on health, so they will have to be careful here. Zoe can poke them out.
Definitely risky. Webb lands the hook. Your mum and bro gonna come back into the waiting arms of Lord of Aces. They force them off the Baron as well.
Yobro has the poke to keep them off the Baron. It works, but oversteps a little bit too much there. Yobro needs to be careful in future fights. Zoe at this point needs to be that poke, that drowsy CC there for the team. If Yobro goes in trying to get an assassinate like that again, Yobro is just gonna die, and I'm not sure trading 1-for-1 is worth it at this point when they need to focus on keeping Louisville alive.
Yeah, I think you're right, Random. Stopping that Baron, definitely useful. Also, the traps are in an interesting position because you really want to like align them to be able to catch people coming in. That just trapping them at the Baron, not ideal. Looking for a little bit more awareness coming in there. But vision is there for DoV as they're looking to push forward yet again. Maybe looking for a unanswered split push into the bottom as well. No teleport, we mentioned already, but 5-1 and 2. Who can match him at this point?
Yeah, so this is a sort of interesting position here where the champion without the teleport, Lord of Aces, is the one split pushing. And you've got GTH.
Oh, Poison Lynch might get caught here by Krosek as well. Goes back into his team where Pippo may be looking to cancel a back as well.
And this might be a terrible mistake here on the side of Shadowkeepers. GTH teleporting to that bot side to try and save that turret. His teleport is now down and will not be able to join the Baron fight should he be needed.
Well, they start it again. Krosek on the back could look for something a little bit special. Bullet time available as well. They're going to take a lot of poke here. Coming down. Really nice hook there, your mom. Can do that. Oh, going in. Krosek now goes aggressive. Onto that first kill, goes over to Yo Bro, I'm nasty. Now they go on again. Louisville as the red buff can slow down Poison Lynch going forward. Really nice trap to get a lot of hit onto that in the bottom lane as well. Yo Ace goes for that. Going forward, lots of recalls coming out here for Shadowkeepers as they break up the fight.
Hero play in that fight, and I mean trading his life for 2 and stopping Baron, that's a win in my book. And Krusek needs to keep doing this. He's not doing as much damage as he was early in the game, but he's still doing enough to, especially anytime they contest Baron, the amount of distraction, CC, and disruption that Shaco can still cause is critical in keeping them off the Baron right now.
Knockup gonna be coming in and feasted upon Phantom X, securing that, reasserting himself in the mid lane. They're starting these Baron buffs very, very quickly. Maybe they need to wait a little bit, but Lord of Aces gets jumped up into the team, suplexed into the tower, and will fall.
And that was a very good long delay by GTH there, baiting Lord of Aces. That earlier when we mentioned the teleport disadvantage has sort of somewhat been evened out by killing Lord of Aces there, but it looks like Baron will be started up by DoV. Shadowkeepers are aware. They're going to run towards the area, but not all of them are quite there yet. And yeah, as you mentioned, I think DoV and Shadowkeepers both need a bit more setup before they start up this Baron. This Baron at this point is a death trap bait. Whichever team is starting it up needs to be very, very careful of the other team. Both teams have excellent ways of disrupting and killing them at the Baron pit if Baron is on them.
Yeah, we have a minute left for this third Infernal that will be spawning, so I think that will sort of stop the insanity that seems to be going on around Baron. They definitely need to close up ranks a little bit here into the bottom side of the map for Shadowkeepers. Now they're setting up vision for this Drake coming up in 30 seconds. Looking for positioning as well. A little bit of poke here for Yobro and Nasty, looking to see what he can find. Gunther feels a little bit behind the curve here as well. Does have that Gargoyle Stoneplate. Gonna get slept. A little bit of poke back. Yo Mumbro goes aggressive though. Does just barely dodge away from the hook.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Gunt is a little squishy right now. I think he was focusing a little bit of damage early. And he is taking a lot of poke. Zoe is still chunking him. And Zoe right now, the main deterrent here for DoV. The poke that she's putting down is making them have to think twice about committing. And it looks like the chaos that was around Baron is now being transferred to Dragon. Dragon doesn't do as much damage and doesn't have as much health, so it's not so easy to peel, but they are still taking some damage here.
Oh, the hook actually comes down onto Sona. Will he take it? No, but the knock-up gets flashed away from. Now Krosak into the front line. Still has his hallucinate if he needs to. GTH goes back into the back line. This is a big fight. Gunth goes forward onto Louis Gent, but he's in the no man's land. 3v1 right now, as it's a zone off control here for Krosak. Coming back, Yobro and Nasty secures that onto Gunth. Going forward aggressively onto Lynch. He's in the front line, goes for the hallucinate, misses the apprehend on the Krosak. Lord of Ace is going aggressive now onto Yobro and Nasty. Gets the dunk control. Dragon's gonna fall.
And I think we can all safely say the MVP of that fight was Inferno Drake. It was just doing damage throughout that fight to both teams. Shadowkeeper survivors limping away mostly from dragon damage, but that will be soul point for Shadowkeepers. 3 Drakes down. Next Drake will be soul for them. And the explosive power of the Inferno Soul would be a huge boon there for Shadowkeepers to keep them alive. And DoV too wants it. That's triple stacking. That'd be a plus 12% attack power and attack damage also for DoV if they manage to get that 3rd Inferno Drake there.
Yeah, I think with Sona actually showing bottom lane here, non-stop Brain, maybe looking for a little bit of a bat. This might be the window to start and take the Baron if they wanted to.
Yeah, but neither team are really looking to do it. I think DoV is getting their vision down at least, trying to set up for it, but their team still isn't quite ready for it. Caitlyn had to back their Poison Lynch backing. Lord of Aces, no teleport, still choosing to split push bottom. It looks like he's going to keep forcing that. GTH's teleport has come back up there. So if he does want to, he can match that split push and TP to go and assist at Baron.
Yeah, DoV retreating from the area gives a little bit of vision, a little bit of a spark back into Shadowkeepers. Looking for more poke here for Yobro and Nasty, trying to look for picks, see what he can find around the map. This lethality now finished off. Coming in for Duskblade Drakthar, actually finishing that Vamp Scepter as well, so looking for that really interesting defensive build coming out of Caitlyn though is what I really want to talk about. Their stance, 3rd item, hasn't gone for triple crit yet, also with that Ninja Tabai, so doesn't have a lot of attack speed in the build.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I agree with either of these ADC's builds here. I mean, MF is basically Louisville going for the safe...
Oh,
Can they get the hook?
Where Pippo actually lands it, he's trying to like come out there, but the tower is going down in the mid lane. Procep going ham in the middle of it all. Pops that hallucinate. Bullet time as well. That's on the clone. Nice little bit of a fear for Phantom X. He goes golden in the process. In the backside of that, Poison Lynx secures the kill onto Yobro. Nasty looking forward. Nice lantern to get him out of reach.
Sliver
Poison
of
Lynch
health
on the front line. Has to be careful. Doesn't really want to be going too far forward. Gonna be able to retreat as a group here for DoV. Krosek looking for something a little bit spicy. Can he get into it? Gets flayed away. The hook's going to go on. The Cataclysm is down. Krosek going to get spotted. Lord of Aces in the front line, tanking up the damage of the back 3 now. Poison Lynch goes forward aggressively.
Krosek giveth and Krosek taketh away. He had a very, very good early game, but these last couple of fights, he's just not... He's a little overeager and, you know, a little out of position there, and he can't afford to do that if he wants to keep his team in the game. And we were just talking about the item builds on the AD carries there. Louisville going straight damage. He's going to basically be relying on his bullet time to get most of the damage out. He doesn't have much attack speed at this point, so his auto attacks won't be as dangerous as they may otherwise be. And on the other side, we see Caitlyn going a different sort of defensive. Rather than relying on her range, she's building the Death Dance to keep alive. I really don't think she needs that at this point. Only Krusek really able to get to the backline, and Krusek hasn't been focusing Poison Lynch down. We don't see much damage coming down onto Poison Lynch. In that last fight, I don't think anybody even got any damage down on her at all. They were just focused on Phantom X.
Yeah, exactly. Going this very heavy AP build as well with that Zhonya's Hourglass. Probably going to start slowly tanking into a little bit more damage. Got that Ruby Crystal going, but definitely going for more of that explosive potential that Cho'Gath can provide in that middle lane.
Yeah, but they do need to watch out for Yobro Amnasti. They have very little magic resistance, and Yobro has bought the Oblivion Orb there for some magic penetration. So Zoe is hurting a little more than expected, and if she gets that max range Q, she can chunk even the tanks at this point in the game.
You're right, Random, but they're so far behind in the build path. 124 farm for the mid lane at 32 minutes into the game is a little bit lackluster. Can't quite seem to find it as they're grouping a lot. Bullet time here for disengage as well. That's not really going to be massive. Cataclysm onto 2. Louisville Grant going to go down. Apprehend onto no stop brain, but Crosex into the back line. He's got no support though from the team. He's going to go down as well. This is probably going to be the game. No teleport here for GTH as he's just retreating back into it. They're going to have minions in a couple of minutes. Time coming down through here. And DoV looking for the push now. Big collapse. Gunth finds the opening. Takes the window. Secures it with the Cataclysm. Going forward now. Not a lot of wave clear found. GTH, what can he do? Going backwards, suplexing back into the team. That's nice, but there's not enough damage to secure it down. The bubble's going to go wide as well. GTH is surviving for a long time under towers here, but it's going to go down to Lynch as well.
Sona's coming up and MF in 3, but it doesn't even matter.
No Nasty gets silenced and into the back. Bullet time yet again. That's a low cooldown, but it's going to be game going over to DoV.
And you just had to ask, where was the tank there for Shadow Keepers? Set was split pushing top. He had teleport, didn't teleport in. We see the bot lane, the two squishiest members of the team, Misfortune, Louisville, Sona, Nonstop Brain, just getting caught out in front there, way too far forward. It just doesn't work when your squishiest members are the ones in front of the team.
Yeah, exactly, Random. Getting caught out there in the mid lane. Nice, aggressive finish coming out. So much CC antagonists. We said that they needed to find a lead. They found it in the kills, but not in the objectives. Plates and CS just going over massively to DoV, and they secure the win here in week 1 of the Coalition League.
Indeed, and as we go forward, there are 2 more best of 1s for both of these teams. So we'll see if Shadow Keepers can learn from their drafting this game, or whether they'll double down and keep going for early game comps, and we'll have to see whether or not DoV can keep up their winning ways with their heavy dive frontline composition there. And with that, we're going to go into an intermission. We'll see you guys shortly. Stick around. We'll see you soon.